here's what happened. Let's go back to Jericho. For anybody that didn't see this, and this was crazy business, 52,000 people showed up. Well, absolutely sold out. 52,000 tickets were sold to a fake fight. That is amazing. I mean, that really is a remarkable thing that they're able to pull off. So what I like about the Rumble, I like that every 2 minutes a new guy comes in because I like the entrance. The entrance is the hottest part of the night. The music hits, the lights go out, boom, a new guy's send out, and you don't know who it's going to be. It's just a brilliant way to do a match. But here's the downside. The in-ring action sucks because there are no spots. I mean, there's maybe 3-4 spots of the whole Rumble, and then you've got the finish when it gets down to 2 guys. Other than that, there's no way to plan for anything. So guys are in there on the fly. If you're watching the match closely, I mean, you're seeing them talking to each other. When they finally get in, they're going to go at it with one another. They don't know, hey, do I go first or do you go first? And so there's botches everywhere. Joel, you must have missed this or you would have brought it up. Chris Jericho had a potato thrown at him. He had a botched spot. That's why Jericho went down. He went down for shoot. A guy comes running across the ring and does it. Jericho's in the corner, and a guy comes at a full sprint across the ring at him, but has nothing planned and doesn't know what Jericho's going to cover and protect himself for. And then the guy just knees him in the thigh. It's a full sprint. The guy knees him. Jericho goes down, and the guy limps, but it's very, very real. It was a totally botched spot, and Jericho never really got up and was able to move on after that. So then you hear you see that there's, at one point, there was just 2 guys left in the ring. And then the announcers have to share with you, well, actually, Chris Jericho's part of this match, too. He's just on the apron. Well, at a point in the show, he went all the way down to the floor. I thought they were just going to walk him out in the back and kind of act like it never happened, and, maybe we find out as fans later he was hurt. He got from the floor back onto the apron, hung out for about 40 minutes, and then got back in the match before he got pitched. So, I mean, it was a major blunder, but when you're doing a match like that where it's not worked out in the back, it's not 2 guys, it's out of everybody's wheelhouse. Not only for the fans is it something we never see, but it's something that the performers never do once a year. It's a really bad match, and yes, Jericho legitimately got hurt in that match, and they never spoke on it, but it was a bad spot. And then I agree with what you're saying about, that world's strongest guy. What's his name? Thurman?
Braun Strowman.
Strowman, I get it. He's 380 pounds. He's a mountain of a man. I get it why you would do that. He's such a bad worker. He's like a kid on the playground, where you feint a punch at him and he closes his eyes. Whenever they come in and swarm Thurman, he closes. I mean, both eyes go completely shut. He's so new at this, he doesn't know what to do. And then, he comes out of it and he gets his high spots, but he's not good at selling anything yet. And that's not his fault. They catapulted him into the spot. It's like, people want to complain about Bill Goldberg, that he doesn't know how to wrestle. Well, that's true, but it's not Goldberg's fault. Somebody saw him and goes, hey, we can do something with this guy. Go out, squash some people, and go home. It's not Goldberg's fault. He was never forced to learn. And the same thing is going, what's his name?
Braun Strowman.
Strowman. The same thing goes with him. He got put in this position. But I don't know if you saw that. Whenever the guys would swarm him, he would both eyes would go shut. Literally would go shut. He didn't know how to sell being a badass. They're pushing it on everybody, but he's just too new.
Yeah, I will tell you, it's, let's talk about a couple other things, even though you don't want to. I do, because I watched. The Kevin Owens Jericho partnership is working for me because I hate it so much. I mean, I hate it. I want Owens to lose, but man, that guy's a worker.
Yeah. So, and here, I don't want to move on just because I can't speak on it. I'm glad you enjoyed the show, but so eventually the Undertaker comes out, and the biggest thing on the Undertaker, number one, is his entrance. The building goes dark, that scary music come on, the smoke comes out.
How do they get him in there?
Well, the way they do that, old school, going back 100 years, when something happens like this, before the show ever starts, that performer is underneath the ring.
No way.
Yes.
He's under for 45, 50 minutes?
Oh, it can be longer. There's guys that have had to stand there 2 hours before with a snack and a bucket to urinate in, and I'm not kidding about that. So, yeah, the Taker's under the ring. But here's how they solve the problem. The biggest thing that he adds to anything is his entrance. It's remarkable how cool that is. And I've been in the building. I got to be at a Monday Night Raw in Portland, and Taker came out. Taker only wrestles a few times a year. he chose to do it at a Monday Night Raw in Portland, and that entrance it's special. It's awesome. It's worth the price of admission. Then whatever happens in the match happens in the match. The walk on the ropes and all the stuff that he offers. But his in-ring ability, he's a little older guy now. Both his knees are bad. He's a little bit older guy, but that entrance never goes away. Well, how do you enter The Undertaker that has a 6-minute entrance to a Royal Rumble when the next guy is coming out 2 minutes after you're announced? It's impossible. Production got around it by just bringing him in the ring. It was awesome. I thought it was an awesome spot. He got his moments. The one thing I really did like about the Rumble, I like the whole thing, even though I criticized that, some of the in-ring action, but that what are you going to do?
It happens once a year.
Yeah, what are you going to do? There's really no way around that. So what I did like about it was the swerve at the end. I don't think any of us would have predicted that Randy Orton was going to win it, particularly when it comes down to the last two. You go, oh, okay, this is real obvious how this is going to go. Roman Reigns. They've been shoving Roman up our ass and down our throat for 3 years now. They're sending him back. And not only are they sending him back, they kind of have to because it's down to him and Orton, and they're not sending Orton to the main event of WrestleMania. Wrong. RKO out of nowhere, pitches him over the top rope. I loved it. I loved when they don't give us what we think is going to happen.
All right, so to explain to the fans what we were talking about, The Undertaker, is the place goes black for about 30 to 45 seconds. The lights come back on, and Undertaker is in the middle of the ring. That was for fans that don't watch this. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, and I thought it was a high spot because I was like all 52,000 people in the building. I was looking up the ramp for the Undertaker to come out and make his walk. And so when boom, the lights come on, the real thrill of illusion is getting a guy, hey, look at this hand, so you're not looking over at this hand. Well, it worked. His entrance comes, the screens light up, the building goes dark. We're all looking the same direction. Boom, Taker's in the ring. It was great. Okay. Absolutely great.